Hi everyone, welcome to Science for Today. I'm excited because we're going to get going on our group project and I think this is going to be pretty fun for you guys. So we are done learning what we're going to be learning for evidence and investigation, and now you're going to be using the skills that we have practiced over the past week and a bit, 2 weeks basically, to build a crime scene. And then we're going to try to solve each of these crime scenes. So the 4 things which you're going to be implementing into this crime scene will be the four things that we've done, which are first fingerprints, then we did human footprints, then we did animal tracks, and then lastly we did chromatography. So all of those different portions are going to be included within this project. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you, and yeah. We're going to be doing a Zoom tomorrow for work on this after we finish our group presentations from the social studies. So if you guys have questions, let me know at that point, or you can just type the questions please on the Edmodo page after you're done watching this, and then possibly the questions that you have are the same questions that other people have, and just let me know whatever questions you have, because maybe I haven't fully thought of something or answered something. Okay, so let's see here. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this nice and big. Okay, so we're doing a crime scene creation. It's not gonna be as elaborate as this, unless you really wanna go crazy with your drawings, but that would be an extra detail if you wanted to actually do something kind of like this. So there's basically 2 steps, okay? So the first step is, as a group, you're going to decide on the location of your crime scene, okay? So it could be a house like this, which might be something like this kind of deal. This is the criteria for what has to be included within your design of your crime scene, okay? So this is kind of like architecture work. Is you have to have a building, okay, so there has to be some type of building that has at least 3 entry points, doors or windows, okay? So you'll see in here, this one has more, right? They have a door, they have a front window, back window, and then a side window, okay? So there's definitely more than 2 ways this person could get in, so 3 or more. This one we see up here, okay, we see 2, but maybe there's more. We don't see the whole entire picture, right? So this is why I want you to create a blueprint, and this is from a bird's eye view. So that means if you're a bird flying over top, like a drone, right? Drone view, this is what you would see of the crime scene, okay? So hopefully that part makes sense. And you can decide on any building. It could be a house, it could be a store, it could be I don't know, whatever, kind of like a school. It could be a bowling ring, a bowling alley, or whatever you want. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the outside area has to have at least 2 other features. So this one has bushes and it has a sidewalk, and it says that there's snow. So the outside features, actually I should add that in. The ground surface has to be trackable. So it could be sand or snow or mud, or it could just be even wet prints. Okay, so one of those things. Okay, the next thing is, so that's 3 things. Next thing is inside the building has to have clues of something being stolen or something kind of going wrong. So here it looks like, I don't actually really know what this is. I think it might be pieces. I think it might be I don't know, maybe a library or something with pieces of paper, and it looks like maybe someone stole, or yeah, maybe it's a library and someone stole these important documents or something. Anyway, this is the evidence. It could be something different though. You could have something else kind of looking a little bit awry in the scene, so it doesn't matter. But the only thing I'm asking is I don't want to see any deaths. Okay, no bodies, no blood or whatever, dead bodies, I guess. Okay, there you go. So that is what you need to do. So this portion must be worked on as a group, even if one person mainly finishes the final products. There might be one person who like takes everyone's ideas and then kind of compiles it into maybe like a drawing. If you're using a drawing, you could use pen and paper for this. You could use a computer. It's totally up to you what you want to do, but yeah, everybody has to have at least one contribution, okay? But then in the second point here. So all ideas are to be shared and everyone must have at least one contribution. So the groups are gonna be 4 people, okay? And then I thought each person could kind of be responsible for like one of these things each, okay? But yeah, everyone has to have at least like a contribution. The next thing is a scene can be created by hand or on the computer. Yep, okay, so totally doesn't matter. And the last thing I wanna say is marks are not being given for this portion. It's just meant to be kind of fun, okay? So sky's the limit in what you're doing for this. And yeah, it's meant to be kind of like fun and creative. So don't spend forever coloring in the trees or drawing something crazy elaborate for this. This type of black and white blueprint is all that is needed for this, okay? Because this portion is due on Tuesday. So it's not meant to be like total crazy rocket science, okay? So that's just the first part. You're creating just the scene. Now, after Tuesday, this is what you can kind of start thinking about a little bit more if you want, and I'll go over this much further next week, is then we're gonna have specialists who are gonna plot the clues. Okay, so of your group of 4, one person is going to create evidence on the group crime scene. Okay, so you haven't included footprints and stuff yet. Okay, so the footprints are not being included on the portion that's due on Tuesday. You're just creating the groundwork for where the crime is going to be happening. Okay, so one person is going to be responsible for plotting fingerprints that must be left at the crime scene. Okay, so if you're the fingerprint person, then this is what you're kind of working towards. I have everything written for like D, RA, C level, E level. I'm going to go through this later, okay? But if you want to look at it, I'm going to post this so you can. The next thing is human footprints. Okay, so maybe you're going to be the footprint specialist. Then you would be the one who are plotting something that looks kind of like this, okay? The next one is another type of track. So animal tracks is what we talked about. Okay, somehow involved in the crime scene. Or it could also be a vehicle. Okay, so if you're the person who's doing the tracks, we're gonna have a special, I'm gonna give you guys like a bonus class, like a bonus little lesson on something to do with the vehicle, because I haven't taught you that yet, but it's really kind of simple. You could probably even do it without me really explaining it, but I still feel like I'll give you a little mini bonus lesson on that. And then the last person is going to be a chromatography expert. So the chromatography expert will be doing a note at the crime scene. And I'm also going to be talking about this more next week, because I'm going to give another little bonus class to people who are doing the chromatography, because we're going to be doing some different types of handwriting to kind of plot this to make it a little bit more a little bit more interesting for people to look at. So that's the main thing. You're going to be plotting the evidence, and basically how complicated your evidence is will determine your mark. So we'll go through this in detail next week. Okay. But if you want, you could read through this kind of in advance. And then the other portion of this is one multiple choice question as created that links to the evidence plotted in each of these 4 categories. So say, for example, that Rami is the chromatography expert. He would be making up a multiple choice question related to all of his great work on chromatography. If Sammy is doing the footprints, then he would make up the multiple choice question related to his great work on the footprints. If Daniel's doing the animal tracks related to the pigeon or whatever it is, maybe the bike, then he would be making up the question for that. And then maybe Malik is doing the fingerprints. Okay, so that's then he would make up the question to match the multiple choice question to match the fingerprints related to whatever level of evidence you plotted. Okay, so this is a bit more complicated, which is why we're going to go over it next week. Okay, so hopefully that as a bit of an overview makes sense. The other thing I'm just going to mention is, okay, so the final project isn't going to be due until Thursday. So basically our time frame is tomorrow. So today you're going to start like kind of thinking of your own brainstormed ideas. And this is the thing, early bird catches the worm. If you message me, it's going to be like kind of like first come, first serve for how these groups are going to be made up. I know that's probably a question in your mind right now. So I want to make up the groups according to what you guys request, and it's going to be kind of first come, first serve. Okay. So if you say that you want to work with it, I'm not going to listen. Like, it's going to be like literally impossible for me to say like, okay, I'm going to create these perfect groups of 4 with exactly what everyone wants. It doesn't happen. So if you send me at least like one person that you want to work with, then I will, like, maybe you say like your top 2 people that you want to work with, then I'll try to make sure that that happens, at least for the people who get back to me right away. Yeah, the other thing I thought of to do is to have you tell me if you wanted to be like which type of expert, and then I group people according to like whatever type of expert they want to be. So if you want to make a little note to me about that, like say you like really want to be the chromatography person, then send me a message about that, and then I'll try to write those things down as well to like group people a little bit accordingly to that as well. Okay. So the brainstorming starts now. The group work is going to be done tomorrow in our Zoom, and then it's going to be due on Tuesday for the blueprint. Okay. That's it. It's not going to be something huge, crazy, elaborate. Then, on Tuesday, then, because it's due Tuesday morning, so then on Tuesday, we're then going to be launching into the next phases, which will give us Tuesday and Wednesday to work on this, so it can be done, the plotting of your point, which isn't going to be, again, that much. Like, if you're a person who's doing the footprints, you're just going to, like, plot in the footprints. It's not going to be, like, crazy. That is ideally going to be done by Thursday, but I'm going to explain that more later in the week, okay? And then we have Eid break. So that's why I want this done before Thursday, so you don't have to think about it over like the long extended weekend. But if there's people that need to clean stuff up, that's what will happen over the weekend, but I don't want that to be the case. Then we're off, I think anyway, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of the following week. And then Wednesday, we're gonna switch crimes. So everyone's gonna get someone else's. And then we're gonna be done the unit. We're gonna do a show what you know related to this stuff. I'll even like take some of your questions and crime scenes that you guys created and make a show what you know out of that, which will be kind of cool, which is gonna be due on Thursday. Or we're gonna be happening on Thursday. And then the following week, we're into air and aerodynamics. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy how quick it's moving. There you go. So if you have questions, type them under this lesson, okay? And then I'll be online and I'll be answering them. And then send me a private message with who you want to work with. Top 2 people, okay? And if you have a request for your specialty, okay? Footprint, fingerprint, tracks, or chromatography. Okay, see you soon.